I need to add a couple of instructions here for you guys that are working at home. I'm going to go over each one of these real quick. This parent function is linear. We talked about that, which is y equals x. So that's what you're going to be using for that one. We talked about the quadratic. This is going to be your square root and then your exponential. So you're going to label this one square root, which is in function notation would be f of x equals the square root of x, also known as y equals the square root of x. This is your exponential function, so I'm going to write exponential. And for the function that we're using right here, this particular function is f of x equals 2 to the power of x, also known as y equals 2 to the power of x. So when you're going to Desmos, you want to make sure, and you're trying to get your points, just put y equals 2 to the power of x, and you can check your table and get some points. Alright, so the points that I would probably have you guys use, I would probably start right here at -1 and then work your way all the way to 2. So let's see here. So there's your exponential. Alright. This function right here is dealing with a cubic function, so I'll put cubic. And this is f of x equals x cubed. This is your logarithmic function right here. So write logarithmic. Alright, and that's going to be f of x equals, now typically it's log base b of x, but we're actually going to be using base 2. So I want you to write f of x equals log base 2 of x. Now, how would you put this particular one into Desmos so you can kind of see some points? Here's what you would do. Go to Desmos. How do you get that function? It's very important. You click functions. Then you go to miscellaneous. You click down to log, type in a 2, then type in an x. You zoom out a little bit. There's your function. Then you go to your table, and then what I would do is I would just type in some numbers that will get us the points that you need. So there's some points right there. There's some points right there that you could use. 1, 2, 4, and 8. So I'm going to use those points. The next point you would be able to use would be a 16. So there's your points right there you would use for your logarithmic function. 1, 2, 4, 8, 16. So I'm going to go over here. I'm going to write 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, and you can clearly see that that's 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So put 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now remember, inverses simply just invert the numbers. So this would be 0, 1. This would be 1, 2. This would be 2, 4. This would be 3, 8. And this would be 4 and 16. And then you just plot those points right here. Okay? So that's what you guys are working on. I'll do the last couple just so you guys know. This right here is a rational function. This is absolute value. So right here we're going to write, this is rational, so I'll write rational. And that's f of x equals 1 over x. Also, this is also known as a reciprocal function. Alright, so rational f of x equals 1 over x. And this one is your absolute value function. Absolute value, which is f of x equals the absolute value of x. So you could also say y equals 1 over x, or y equals the absolute value of x. So there's all of your functions. These are easily typed into Desmos, where you can build a table of values where you can actually plot them over here. And then you're just evaluating whether the new inverse is a function or just a relation. Remember, everything's a relation, but not everything is a function. And that's what you're doing. Hope that was helpful.